It was supposed to be just another awkward blind date, a tired single dad, and a woman who had everything money could buy. But when he finally walked in, 40 minutes late, rain-soaked, nervous, and holding the tiny hand of his daughter, something unexpected happened. Moments later, a simple whisper from that little girl would leave the woman across the table, a powerful CEO, completely speechless, with tears streaming down her face. No one in that quiet Italian restaurant could have imagined that this moment would change three lives forever. Ethan Miller's life had become a constant balancing act. A 34-year-old mechanic from a small Colorado town, he lived paycheck to paycheck, raising his 7-year-old daughter, Lily, after losing his wife to cancer. Each morning began before sunrise, packing lunches, fixing cars that weren't his, and trying to keep hope alive in a home that echoed with memories. His friends called him strong. He just called it survival. When his best friend insisted on setting him up with a woman named Claire, a self-made CEO known for her success, Ethan almost laughed. What would a woman like that want with a man who still used duct tape to hold his car door shut? But somehow, he said yes. Then came the day of the date, the day that nearly didn't happen. A rush job at the auto shop, a late clock out, grease-stained hands, a car that barely started, rain that wouldn't stop. By the time he reached the restaurant, he was 40 minutes late and drowning in embarrassment. He wanted to turn around to save himself the humiliation. But Lily, sitting in the back seat in her pink dress, looked up at him and whispered, "Mommy would want you to go." And so he did. Inside, Claire sat alone at a corner table, polished and composed, her untouched wine reflecting the candlelight. Ethan almost turned away until Lily tugged his hand and smiled. When Claire looked up, she didn't see a failure. She saw a father, tired eyes, rough hands, and a little girl clutching his arm like he was her whole world. The dinner began awkwardly. Ethan ordered the cheapest meal, afraid to seem out of place. Claire noticed, but said nothing. Then something shifted. Laughter began to fill the spaces between them. Stories about Lily's art projects, Ethan's old truck, and Claire's own lonely routines broke through the tension. Halfway through, Lily quietly left for the restroom. When she returned, she leaned close to Claire and whispered something no one else could hear. A moment later, Claire froze, her eyes glistening, her breath caught. When she finally looked up, her expression was no longer polished or professional. It was broken, tender, and deeply human. The whisper? Lily had told her, "I hope you can make my daddy smile again. He's been sad since Mommy went to heaven." That single sentence cracked open years of guarded hearts. Cheers fell. A CEO forgot her power. A mechanic forgot his shame. And for a brief, silent moment, the world felt still. That night didn't end like any normal date. It ended with gratitude, a quiet walk to an old car in the rain, a child's laughter echoing between two lonely souls rediscovering hope. Weeks passed. Claire began accidentally visiting the auto shop for imaginary car problems. Coffee turned into picnics. Business calls turned into late-night talks. For the first time in years, Ethan found himself smiling, and so did Claire. The CEO who once lived for success found joy in simple things: pancake breakfasts, movie nights, and a little girl's drawings taped to her fridge. And Ethan, who thought love had died with his wife, learned that hearts can heal, even when they're covered in grease and held together by faith. Months later, they returned to that same restaurant, not for a date, but to celebrate something new. Lily ran ahead, giggling, shouting for Claire to hurry. Ethan handed Claire a single flower and said softly, "You're part of our family now." She didn't answer. She didn't need to. Her tears said it all, because sometimes love doesn't arrive in luxury cars or grand gestures. Sometimes it's a whisper from a child reminding two broken people that kindness still exists, and that second chances come softly. Maybe that's the real magic of kindness. It doesn't ask for perfection. It just asks that you show up, even when you're late, scared, and unsure. Do you believe in second chances? Tell us in the comments below. This is HOA Chronicles, reminding you, Kindness doesn't cost much, but it changes everything.